Anyway, we're there with you. Why you up Shane Pan long and I watch today? You know, it's so time for cash party, so we can't really do not whole heap of things about. We want to talk about this whole heap of suicide we are going in Jamaica, you know. We don't understand where we are going. I mean, everybody are coming, I mean not everybody, but suicide come like it depend the war part. You know, we see a big judge, according to them, allegedly commit suicide. We don't know how, if them do the last check yet, if the police them check it out fully yet, but it's something where it's very troubling that suicide. Like last week, they about suicide. I mean, almost suicide them up for the year. Quite a few suicide in the area. I don't know if it's, what is happening, if it's aftermath of COVID, or is it the pressure of daily life, daily living, that is grabbing ones and ones, why them really resort to this terrible act of suicide, you know? So, it not look lovely. It not look too lovely at all to hear say, every time you get up here, you see somebody commit suicide, but really and truly, the one of the judge is really mind-boggling. Yeah, mind-boggling. A judge, you know, I mean, when I expect a judge to commit suicide, it's kind of weird. Plus, we still depend the body camera them, you know, the body camera them, you know, we still depend that. We not come off of that. See, they might try to go around the thing and I come around the thing and I tell you about all them order this and this, that and that. Jamaican people don't know nothing about where you're celebrating. We are talking about the police head, the head of the police. The government can afford the camera them. Them can afford it. You know, see, that is where them say them that them can afford the camera them. Because them afford less than that. And I put it in the system, you know. The government can afford the camera them, and the camera them is part of the process of keeping Jamaica sane as it relates to the death of people and how you evaluate when somebody gets shot by police. You know, and if the person who gets shot did put the police in danger, why him had to get shot. You know, all of these things is necessary, you know. You can't not tell about your government and, you know, you win the election, therefore, you know, you have this in plan and that in plan. Certain things upon the board, we never did really walk with it, just like how we are here. Remember the years ago now we about these whole heap of car, police car. We don't hear nothing more about them police car there again, you know. Nothing about the police car them. So we don't know is where I go on, so we don't know is where I go on, so on. It's kind of mind-boggling to know, say, you have to go back over the same thing them over and over. And the thing them where you address is not being rectified. Why is it not being rectified? And them I tell you about other things where them are rectify. And one of the things we want to come on board with is that the UN have a meet the other day, and me I tell you, me I listen to some of the Prime Minister them talk, but you see me and Matley, oh gosh man, me and Matley, yes, you have the Caribbean people, them, especially Jamaican people. Yeah, them I say, yeah, them could have wished them could have somebody like you around the other country them. Because the Prime Minister of Jamaica and the opposition leader must declare themselves as it relates to this continuous genocide we are going in Israel. You know, them can't just now say no, now walk out on this and now walk up on that. They must have a stand. Like remember in the time when they are party, Jamaica did have a stand. How come them two political leaders and have no stand as it relates to one of the cry? And even in South Sudan, it's two genocide are going right now, you know. South Sudan, which you tell you, South Sudan even worse. Even worse. I just shouldn't have no this and that to cover it, so but it's terrible down there. Anyway, we're going to come forward, you know, and see if we can rectify certain things before the day up, yes. It's very unusual if you do it that way, and yeah, we want to come forward. We just take the break and come forward. We'll talk about the stand. We don't hear the minister, the opposition leader, and we don't hear the prime minister mention anything. And this is the thing where in the earth right now, the world where everybody's concerned about. And Jamaica, who was one of the countries them who used to stand up for human rights and justice, just go blank, numb. The people them want to hear where the Prime Minister and the leader of the opposition, where them are, where them is. And this debacle we are going over in Israel there, and also in Sudan. Never hear it from them lip yet. Never. As a matter of fact, other countries either lick it, like even when the American them blow up the plane, blow up the boat them as a joke boat. At least the woman from Trinidad, she come out and say, them to kill them. Yeah, she said them to kill them. Can you believe that? Without knowing if them have a joke about it or not, she said them to kill them. But we want to know where Jamaica stand on it. Where not Jamaica, but the government and the opposition, which part them stand on this thing we are going right now in there. Yeah, so, yeah, whatever can get some music. What is the stand that the opposition and the leader of the country, what is the stand them taking? Because everybody has showed them face now. UN, all the nations come together now and say they might denounce the genocide we are going in Palestine. You know, I mean, like, countries where we would have never believe I come out and I say, they might denounce it. We don't hear somebody in the Caribbean we hear shout out, and that is Mia Matli from Barbados. And she is one of, well, she's not the only, but one of the only, more than two women have a Prime Minister in the Caribbean. Anyway, she's very outspoken with it. And you can see, say, she really mean it. Because I remember when she said, when I talk about the visa thing, she said, she talk, she talk. She no business. If they want to take a visa, I don't know. I don't think them people would have said it, because they totally link up with the people them who we call oppressor. We are talking about the government. And when we talk about the government, we are talking about the opposition also in the government. We don't hear them say nothing. You know, I remember them walk out of one of the conference them. No say nothing at all. Then like America, them have veto this and have veto that too. It's amazing. And I know a whole heap of people what I love here where the Prime Minister have to say about it. Because it's an international crisis right now. It's not just, you know, you hear a little news about that. It's an international crisis. When you look on some of the news report, them man, they might kill all the report of them. All the report of them, they might kill. Blow them up, assassinate them, and now they might infiltrate America in a very serious way. You know, very serious way. We are talking about Netanyahu. Him really infiltrate. Because now they might accuse Israel. The brother with them Kirk the other day were dead. There's an argument out there that he was murdered not by the youth there, who them say them hold for the gun, them never hold no gun. But the news is that nobody believe now says him kill the little youth, kill Kirk. And finger point now to Netanyahu, because them say the youth when them Kirk did actually assess certain things now against the genocide. And we see one little daughter there where she's a Trump hardcore. She now a lick against we are going on in Israel too. One heap of ones who you'll never know a fight against, who I said the boy, them is champion, hardcore champion. Them now I say, it can't continue. It can't continue. And the voices is getting louder and louder over it. And we don't hear the voice of Jamaica in it. You know, the music where we play, the music where we create, the songs and poems where we create, related to the oppression of people all over the world. And as we have said, we was a strong voice in the liberation movements. Strong voice for us. I think we were the first country to boycott South Africa. And we never have nothing to say about boycott them. Like we never was a big trading post with them. But we still say it was an important thing to do. Very important thing to do. And now we just, every man get up and I tell you about where how much got gone down, this gone down. Yeah, we hear about that. We hear that. We hear about that. But no, this is a thing where we are talking about an international affair where affect we. Yes, it affect we personally. Jamaica. Because them in bed with a brother there. Bibi. Bibi them call him, yeah, Bibi. Them in bed with him, Rasta. And that no sound good when we look on all of the nation them around you. The United Nations, BRICS, and all the other support organizations that usually support people in need and in crisis. We say everyone a turn and I say, no, this can't keep going on. No, we say them are going to make a pact with the people, them Hamas, to cease fire. That is where them are work on, you know. And you know, say Donald Trump eagerly want the Nobel Peace Prize. It's not easy, you know. It's not easy at all, I tell you. But we have a little baby Trump. I don't know. I mean, there's a kind of proudness, arrogant proudness in the Prime Minister when him talk nowadays. And this even cause him in the election, or it's even worse. The arrogance, sure. Seriously sure. But issues still remain, not only locally, but internationally. Because the local problems is unbelievable that need to be solved. Anyway, we'll take a break and come forward. Yeah, I could. Yeah, we depend this argument about the stand Jamaica supposed to take, and when I hear them I say nothing about it, I don't know if the Prime Minister under certain wraps that him is not allowed to talk freely as a head of state. But I know it's not me one, because people ask me. Say, Muta, how come you not hear the Prime Minister say nothing about Gaza and them someday? And when I talk about Gaza over Portmore neither, you know, see, the people just wandering and through me have a voice on the radio. It's like them are all in a supermarket. I say, brother, you know your Prime Minister go answer us. I say, well, I mean, I go answer him. Say, but I hear say nothing about the Gaza thing. And I said, then, you know, it's like, whole heap of things put by me because people hear me on the radio and feel me have some link to them. But I have a link to them, you know, brethren. Don't go link me up when I come on the program and I talk. You understand? And it's really weird. Really weird. So we can't hear about how much the crime rate going down and we feel good about that. But the problem with that is that the crime gone down, but the police killing gone up. It's like we are swapped, but we are swapped. Puppy for maga dog or maga dog for fat dog, which one of them? It's like the crime gone down, murder rate gone down, gun crime gone down, but the police killing gone up, and suicide. We have to really figure out what the hell is happening in Jamaica. You know, that every police knows how to kill people, so it's unprecedented, man. Unprecedented that so much people is dying from the police guns. Here we go again with guns. Guns is always a problem. We still don't hear no big effort made by the government of Jamaica to really talk to the what name? Rubio. Yeah, the Cuban too. Mr. Cuban, Rubio, yes. We don't hear not big argument and conversation are going as it relates to what is it that America is doing to stem. Just like when they blow people boat and don't know if it's going to panic. We have a gun problem coming from America. Big gun problem we have coming from America. And we know, says America, but I tell them about the boy, it come through 80 and all them foolishness there. It come straight from America. No drugs for gun for drugs, no gun for drugs straight we are dealing with that now. Massive barrel loads of gun are coming at the island. You know, say if them catch two, at least one get away. So how come when I hear all these things that the government is sitting down with the government in America and figure out how them can do alleviate the problem? Because I see the American them now, they might take a stand say, in the Caribbean water, which is illegal for them though, them have bomb people boat and don't prove nothing. From his boat there, so fisherman, you know watch on. We are tell you, fisherman, you know watch on go there, you know. Watch on go there. Because we don't know how far you're going on, but them people have a way. Them have a way to spot you anywhere there in a certain waters. So don't make no wave carry you past where you're supposed to do, or else your goose cook. You get where the duck get. You get pluck. Yes. So you guys, you know. And it's a serious thing. And we'll come and fight. We are calling up on behalf of the citizens of Jamaica who's hearing about this war in South Sudan and all of the Gaza Strip, them call it Palestine, the war between Hamas, and not even a war between nothing again. It's like it's a war between Israel and the people that is occupying, that is in Palestine. Because most of the people them were dead, no, I'm not going to shoot up nobody. Most of the people them were dead, no, I'm not going to shoot after nobody. The reports of them who dead never shoot after nobody. So it's not like, say, you know, there's reciprocation where gunshot are fire from one side and the other one might fire back. No, not no go so. Blatant murder, killing. And we are saying now that we are asking the Prime Minister and the Governor General to make a statement on behalf of the government of Jamaica about their stand as it relates to what is going on over there. So, because we know Jamaica, we're not Jamaica, the government has a close tie with Israel. Them close tie with Israel. So we just want to know, because it don't look funny, it don't look lovely out there. It don't look lovely out there. You have ones in New York and one that's where going. Or every time Israel name come up to the Prime Minister, them just walk out or them just stand still. A veto this and that, set up nothing. When I hear nothing from them, it's distressful, it's distressing. You know, and we are talking about the body camera them still. I don't buy where the policeman attack, where him name, the head of the police force. I don't buy where him attack. That is just a rigmarole and rose, your pocket full of pros here. Asham, all fall down. Gunshot, shot you all day. You know, see it. So I just want to know, say, all the people them who are bother me, well, they not really bother me, but the people them who are hope some would have shout out to them to say, I did shout out, and we are expecting them to say something. I don't want them to come ignore the thing, you know. Like we are trying to make problem, you know. We're not trying to make no problem. We are answer the call of the people them. And as I said, the people them hear me on the radio every week. And them say, if I hear on the radio every week, how many not hear him call the government to talk about what is for them stand? Yes, they might depend on me. If I say something, I know I say something. So we just want to say it again. We're calling upon the government of Jamaica, that is including the opposition, Mark Golding. What is the opposition and the, what them call him, the doctor, Dr. Andrew Holness, what is their stand on this debacle that the whole world now is grasping for breath? What is their stand on the problems that confront the world? Because it affect the world now, because America all the night now, and America, I don't know where them there, but we want to know where we are as a people. Okay, so take a break and come forward. Yes.
In Jamaica here. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. It's my pleasure to be here.
All right, I can't turn off this food. Yes. Hello?
Yes, I'm here. It's a pleasure to be on.
You hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you very clearly.
Oh, okay. I'll talk to the doctor here about this, what we're calling a Jamaica now. Is that, I say it's an epidemic because it seems as if it's getting worse. What says the?
Well, we are having an increase, especially since this month, in what is happening with suicide and suicide ideations. A lot of persons are expressing suicidal ideations, and a lot of persons are attempting and sadly some completing suicide. And it's a concern we have. I also work with True Life International, and they have been working for years on this mission. And it is of big concern because a number of persons are going through struggles and not reaching out to get help.
All right, what do you think is the cause of it? That it seems as like it's an upsurge of this thing. What do you think is causing it in the society here?
Life is happening, and there are a lot of persons who are becoming more suspicious of persons, and so the type of trust that used to be there, the community that used to be there, where the village came together to discuss things, where the elder persons were respected and persons could go and sit with an older person and they would reason with them. That's not there anymore. Persons are just not sharing. The whole values that have been there have broken down, and so persons are just having situations and not having anybody to talk to about it, or not feeling like they have anybody to talk to about it.
So what is your, you have an organization that help with this? I mean, how it go? I mean,
well, the one I just mentioned, True Life International is one, and you have a number of agencies that work with suicide ideations. You have the suicide hotline that is there also, that persons can reach out to when they need help. And we encourage persons to understand that it's nothing is wrong to reach out for help. It's actually something good. It is good when you can reach out for help. It is good when you realize that you need help and you can say, I need help. Talk to a counselor. Talk to a pastor. Some persons don't trust pastors, but you have pastors who have counseling training. Talk to a doctor. Talk to a trusted friend. It's not a weakness. It's wisdom. Because stress interrupts our life. Right? So situations like if you feel like you're not functioning, that the stress is overwhelming, because all of us have stress. But when it reaches the point where we are not able to function effectively, when we realize that the sadness is lasting more than 2 weeks and we can't move, when you feel hopeless and you feel numb, you feel overwhelmed, it is important to reach out to somebody to say, I need help. People need to understand it is okay not to be okay. Nothing is wrong with that. It happens with all of us, but we just need to know when we need to cry out and say, I need help.
But, all right, some people might have psychological problem and them say, nothing wrong with me, where you bother me for? I mean, how you help somebody like that?
We have that
keep
stigma.
Saying, nothing wrong with me. Nothing wrong with me, where you bother me for?
We have this stigma in Jamaica that, mental health is not important, and people mix up mental health with mental illness. So everybody needs to have good mental health, and we need to maintain our mental health. But there are times when, just like how we have physical challenges, we have mental challenges. And a lot of persons, because of how we've been socialized in Jamaica, we do not realize that it's okay. You have in the US, the culture is different. Persons, they're proud to go to their psychologist. I'm seeing a therapist, and everybody's proud. But in Jamaica, it is presented like it's something embarrassing and it is shameful, when it is not. Because it's something you should be proud of to say, I'm going to talk to my therapist because I know I need to be a better version of myself.
But
to realize it's okay. So when
you get to somebody where you tell them, say them need because you're a psychiatrist, and them I tell you, say, no wrong with me, where you bother me for? Or you get to a person like that, where insist to say nothing wrong with them.
Sometimes it's a situation where we realize something is wrong and we need to educate ourselves how to just listen, how to give the layman help. Because some persons, even with the physical illnesses, you can't get them to a doctor. And you have to just try sometimes, talk to the professionals and see how you can say, okay, all right, guess what? Is this happening? Sometimes you can show them the listing to say, is this happening to you? To say, this is a list of things that are happening. When these things are happening, it is suggested that somebody needs help. So when you can show them the list to say, look at it and see if 4 or more of these things are happening to you. Because if these are happening, you need help. And guess what? I am here to support you. Nothing is wrong. When we speak about it, we have to make sure to speak like there is nothing wrong. Because if we go to somebody and say, you're not to say you're mad, they are going to say nothing wrong with me.
No, you don't answer that. You don't answer that,
yes,
definitely.
No.
You don't answer that at all.
Or say something, you're not to say something wrong with your head.
Yeah.
Those things scare people. So when you say to somebody, boy, I realize you're having a little struggle with that. Would you like me to follow you to speak to somebody? And they might say, no, we don't have. They say, no, man, all of us. I'm going to speak to somebody and, normalize it. Let them know it's okay. Let them know it's all right. Because a lot of persons, because of how it is spoken about, once you say mental health, me not mad, nothing wrong with me. When I used to be in the regular school system, even when you see students who need to be assessed and you want to get the help for them, the parents will say, nothing wrong with my child. But when you say, okay, this is what is supposed to be happening, this is where they're supposed to be, and we are not seeing these things, or these behaviors are showing, and we are concerned. And we just want you to be the best version. That is how I promote it. I help persons to understand that maintaining your mental health is about being the best version of yourself, being the person who is winning, being the person who is not just surviving, but thriving. Because that's what life is meant for.
Yeah, I can ask you. I noticed you mentioned the difference between mental health and mental illness. What is the difference between mental health and mental illness? Explain.
Right. No, mental health is the general maintenance of our mental faculties. So it's how we think, how we feel, how we cope, how we connect with others, and how different things affect our choices, our relationships, our overall well-being. But mental illness now is when something is happening with this that is causing us not to function. Sometimes it is based on our environment, and at other times it is based on something that is in our genetics, because you have some mental illnesses that we inherit from persons in our family. So there are some that are not just in our environment, but they are natural things that happen, that some malfunction is happening in the brain, or the hormones or other things are happening. So then the psychiatrist comes into play, because sometimes medication is actually needed. Some persons need to be admitted for a while, but we just need to get rid of the stigma and know that if you need help, you need help. If somebody is having a spike in their blood pressure, they go and they get help and they take their medication. Same thing needs to happen. If you are diagnosed with schizophrenia, take the medication. Medication might be something that keeps you going, helps you function normally, because persons with mental illness can function normally. You just need the support. You need the psychotherapy. You might need medication. Not all situations need medication. There are many persons with mental illnesses that just have their therapies and they get the support and they act normally, they behave normally, they function normally. So it is not a death sentence.
So what the hereditary person who get that through lineage, and the person who acquire that through just being part of the society where get to them head, how the doctor function in that way? Is it the same recommendation them give the patient if him have an hereditary? Sure, that's
okay. No, so
you understand what I'm saying? Hereditary.
Yeah, totally, yeah, man.
Yeah.
So the history is taken. So you have to take the history of the person to see if there's any other person in the family that has any mental illness. So you see if it is coming in the lineage, if it is in the genes. So that is done. When that is done, so things are eliminated, and you see if this is something that is coming based on the environment, based on situations. Sometimes it is there in the gene, sometimes it is there, but it is not activated because of the type of support that the person is happening. But when certain stressors come, then certain things will show up, certain things will act up, when other persons might have the gene, but it is not really presenting in that way. So this investigation is done when somebody has a challenge, has any type of challenge mentally, and goes to a psychologist or a psychiatrist. So you will find that sometimes for the first 2-3 sessions, it is about investigation. It is not the therapy that has started, because full investigation has to be done for a proper treatment plan to be put in place.
So the person who acquired that through genes and the person who acquired that through just societal problems,
right?
Them have a longer way of doing it. I mean, like, cause you say investigation, you have a period of time when them have to investigate if it's through your genes or through just socialization and thing. I mean, the person who gets socialized into it get tablet too, just like the person who...
Not necessarily. It actually depends on what level the situation is at. So there are some illnesses that when diagnosed definitely need medication for support, like schizophrenia. Schizophrenia is one that when it is diagnosed, medication is the best recommendation. There are some persons that refuse, but they really have to sign a document to say that they refuse. There are some levels of depression. When it is very severe, usually the support is given with medication. But it is with therapy. There are some situations with depression that they get medication for a while, and then when functioning improves, then they are taken off. There are some persons who have to be on it for life. So it really is on an individual assessment basis where the decision is made. So there are a lot of persons who are diagnosed with different mental illnesses, and the support is given through psychotherapy. So they actually don't get medication. Medication is usually if necessary. So the psychiatrist would do the evaluation to see if medication is necessary.
Well, I give thanks for them information there, because I tell you, it come like a epidemic in Jamaica here right now, and it linked to the suicide thing too. There's a total link between that and suicide. Definitely link,
There is a link, and that is why getting help is so important. And I just want to share some tips, because some persons, even in a stressful day, just need to take some what we call mind breaks. Sometimes just 2 to 5 minutes of breathing. For some persons, praying, stretching. Sometimes it's just silence to reset your brain.
Of course, but sit down in the sun or something like that,
Yes. Yeah. And that doesn't take you away from work. You just sit at your desk and you can do that.
Yes.
Or wherever you are, if you're on the construction site, just come down, stop for a while and just take a 5-minute break. Yes.
You're going to take the 5 minutes break and the boss come and say you're asleep on them job too.
Sometimes it is just that you come down and you're doing something lighter. So you still keep yourself with it that you don't get in trouble, but you know that you are taking a mental health break. And sometimes just talking to someone we don't trust and we get suspicious until we put ourselves in more problems. Find somebody. There must be somebody who can trust.
Okay, give thanks.
And some of us push ourselves in situations because we have so much negative self-talk. We need to speak positive over our lives. We need to also do movement, even light exercise, a little dancing. It reduces anxiety. It helps with depression. Even the sun. Some of us are just in the house. The vitamins from the sun helps with mental health. And rest.
Yeah, I can tell you something. You talk about dancing. It's them dancing where them women I don't know. They make the man them blood pressure rise up. Them get mental. Them get mental when they see it. So I know why you put that in it, because trust me, when them look at that reaches something else now, them get mental. Anyway, we give thanks, we give thanks for the information.
Yeah, man.
I hope if we want to call up here again, we can
no
call
problem at all. Yeah. And just to correct that I'm not doctor yet, but
you're not
we work
yet?
like this, but yes.
Yeah, well, but people have doctorate and they want no doctor yet. I don't know. That's it, no. All right, give thanks, Mama.
Yes, no problem.
Is Mrs. or Miss Smith? Which one?
Mrs.
Mrs. All right, Mrs. Yeah, give thanks. Give thanks.
No.
I don't know. Yeah, some people ask me, say, them not get that well, the person, them say, me not taking no call, but we are take call. Why you know that? Operator, we are take the call. If somebody call you want to deal with the subject of what we are dealing with, them have to be dealing with the subject. If them not dealing with the subject, we don't take the call. Them tell them, say, after 4:30, them can call and talk about what them are talking about. This is a specific thing we are work with. Today we want to talk about really a very serious topic. They say, them not have that made public. Yeah, it's a serious thing. People is calling for it to be made public. The sex offenders, them, like all the brother, hey, boy, I tell you, I don't understand how people say it. A man look at a 6-year-old girl, a rape her rasta. The man, if you tie them by them, you know what, and spin them on a light pole, yeah. Yeah, anyway, we want to see if them ready for it with this. Not yet. All right, so I could put back this tune, yeah, and play this tune, yeah. Here we go. What? Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. Sir Muta, how are you doing?
How you mean to dig out 12 minutes out of my time, man?
No, I was with a client and I had to finish that meeting before I could do this one. I went over.
Sir. All right, so you know the topic. You know the topic, right?
Yes. Sex offenders registry.
Yes. All right. Why them do have a registry?
There
Them have it, but them not make it public.
There is a registry since the Sexual Offences Act 2009. The amendment, well, the Act provides for between Sections 29 through to 34 the provision of the Sex Offenders Registry. So we've always had one. Well, we had one for a very long time. The stipulation, though, it's not public. So whereas, for example, in some states you can go on a particular website and you can type in the person's name, or you could type in your location, and I think there is a site in the US, I believe, where I think it's NSPOW, where you can type in your location and the state and a radius, and it will give the list of names of persons who are on that registry and even their address.
That is
with
where
Jamaica, however.
Yeah, okay.
With Jamaica, though, we don't have that level of accessibility. And an argument came up recently about it as to if we should have one that is that public and accessible. And of course, based on our laws, it's not publicly accessible or loosely or freely accessible. It's done by application.
So you think it should be accessible?
To the public randomly? No, I don't think it should be accessible like that. Reason being is that there is a danger of... It's good and there's bad to everything. The good is that you can do a quick check to see, who your neighbor is, and so on and so forth. The bad part is, on the other hand, you're running the risk of just mean people who will dig up your information and then they will put you on blast on social media, which will become one of the most dangerous weapons of the modern age. So there's that risk as well. So it's a very touchy topic. However,
right. Yeah.
if it is that somebody wants to find out if, for example, John Doe next door, who just moved in, is an offender or is on the registry, there is a process where one can apply for that.
But you're saying the neighbor to go investigate the neighbor.
Well, it's good to know who your neighbors are.
That sounds like first Gestapo kind of thing, especially in the garrison them. Somebody move on the garrison, you tell the person next door, say, hey, go find the website and say that brother is a rapist. That not sound like something where I want to do. Because man, go that talk.
Yeah, but then...
Boy, I will go find the thing and I see that brother next door, way. Him be coming to rape one time, and him live over there, so now.
And that's the danger. That's the reason why it's not so accessible willy-nilly. Because there's that danger of the person, being open to that kind of scrutiny. However, even under the legislation, and the regulations, when a person is in that registry, they have to report and have to check in. They have to know where you're residing. If you're going to change residency, you have to make them know. It has to be registered. If you have a primary residency and a secondary house, they have to know the secondary house. If you're leaving the country, if you're leaving the parish for more than 14 days, the registry has to know this information because they have to know where you are. So, another case where you're on that list and you just go about your business, it's a serious checking-in process, and your movement is tracked by the registry and the department. So it's another case where it is.
I could take a break little and come. You have a whole heap of people that is multiple sex offenders, right? Them do it one time, them do it 2 times, them do it 3 times. Oh, you talking to Attorney of Law Sanjay Smith. The thing is, all right, you have a whole heap of people that is multiple sex offenders, right? Them do it one time, them do it 2 times, them do it 3 times. Oh, you deal with them kind of people, Oh, you deal with them.
Well, the good thing about our laws is that whenever someone is sentenced, the court takes into account any previous conviction. Now, if it is that somebody is being sentenced for, God forbid, sex offense, and the records are returned to the court to say what record does the person have. If a prior conviction comes up of a similar nature, then the starting point for the sentence is higher. So if you, for example, it's like a child being seen by a parent. If when a cookie jar one time and keep a cookie, they might get a scolding. When cookie jar again, take another cookie, the scolding might elevate to something else. So it's the same principle. If you reoffend, or it's the same or a similar nature offense, your sentence is usually higher. Let's also bear in mind that when you come on to, for example, a rape charge, the maximum is life imprisonment.
Oh, a rape charge is life imprisonment.
You can get to life imprisonment for rape charges. So, I mean, I heard a talk once about it being 2 years. Actually, not true. It's not true. The starting point for things, for certain offenses, is very high. Sex offenses in Jamaica, at the high court level, it's a harsher punishment, especially after trial.
All right. So, the man where, the other day when we hear about the man where raped the 70-year-old girl now, right? And just take her and just have sex with her and them catch him. That would be a life sentence. How them work that? How them work out life versus not life?
All right. So every offense has a maximum, a minimum, and a range.
Yeah.
Now, whenever the court is going to sentence somebody, they look at the guidelines for sentencing legislation. They look at mitigating factors, aggravating factors of the crime, the age of the offender, the age of the complainant, and they will start a particular point and go up or go down based on that particular offense. Now, I can say, from what I've seen in previous cases, is that when the complainant is very young, it is a higher starting point for sentence.
Like the 70-year-old
because the person is that young.
Like the 70-year-old with the man raped that idea. Like the 70-year-old with the man raped that idea. Oh, what's in catching there? Yeah, about that?
The court will determine. Yes, I heard about it. The court will determine his sentence, but for an offense like that, it will be a pretty harsh punishment.
I think him should have get life feed. 7-year-old, him should have get life Rasta. What say thee?
My thoughts are the same. My thoughts are the same. I believe that, just like with the court, there is a certain age where the court looks at that as a aggravating factor to say, okay, then fine, this person is very young, then we have to go up with the sentence. I cannot say what his antecedents are, but I can say that if he were to be found guilty after trial, then the sentence would most likely be very harsh.
Yeah, because that girl,
and I'm not seeing anything under 15 years. Probably.
And put a sentence on she, you know, a 7-year-old, and put a sentence on she, maybe for life. You know? That's
also a very disgusting, well, it's a very unfortunate and very sad thing when you think about it, because certain things will stay with you for the rest of your life.
Yes.
And something like that will stay with the person for the rest of their life. And oftentimes, we can see the person is very young, then there could be issues biologically with the person going forward. Some of the cases that I've seen have that as an aspect of it.
Mm-hmm. All right, me could ask you something now, out of the blue, out of the way, you know, where me know say it happen, so it's not like me just pluck it out or nothing. What to when a big man rape a little boy, or a big man rape a next man, like gunpoint and rape him? How them look on that?
Sexual Offences Act does speak to that as well. And once there's a firearm involved, there is a firearm charge. And, of course, firearm possession now is a 15-year minimum. That is the only real serious change of the Act. So the sentences would be very harsh for that as well.
They might charge him for the firearm or they charge for the action?
Possession of a firearm is an offense.
No, you
Even
hear
a
me
licensed
ask you a while
firearm
ago.
holder.
Wait, hold on. You hear me ask you a while ago?
You're asking about the firearm and the buggery.
Yeah, so me I say no, but you keep talking about the firearm. They're not charging for the buggery.
Why wouldn't they charge for the buggery? If he's charged for
No, but you keep talking about the firearm.
Is this. All right, hold on. If the offense is this, man goes with a firearm and does something of a sexual nature to another person. The person, that offender will be charged for the firearm and any offense that would have taken place in that transaction.
Yeah, me know, but me never talk about firearm still. The case that I talk about is something that happened in a St. Mary, right? Where what I want to say to is a person, them did find say the person did really is a bugger man. And one of the times somebody ball out and them catch him. I talk about no firearm, no. I talk about, I know what kind of sentence a man get. Him get a life imprisonment to, or how it work?
I'd have to double check the act as it speaks to buggery. I don't remember the sentence for that offhand. I don't do many, if I can recall, any buggery cases. But
yeah, but rape the man, him rape the youth.
The charge
so why is
buggery,
that different?
The definition of rape versus buggery, it differs.
Explain.
So rape is defined really as vaginal penetration by a penis. And the buggery is, of course, and then not to go into that on radio, as to what that would be.
Yeah, we know what it is.
It's very specific as to what you call make up the elements of the offense. This is done without the person's consent.
Rape is without the person's consent, man. Rape is without person's consent. It's rape the youth, you know.
It'll be defined in law as buggery.
Eh?
It'll be defined in law as buggery.
Yes, so I ask you now, when them go to the court and them define it as rape, it's buggery, but it's rape. You're forced to lay.
I see what you're saying. You're saying because the whole content, the content issue is not there, but then you have to look at how the law defines the act.
All right, tell me how the law defines the act. Tell me how the law defines the act.
As I said, so rape is defined as penetration of the vagina by a penis against the person's consent.
Yeah, and buggery is defined as what a man rape a woman, a man.
It is penetration of the other end.
Yeah.
Of the orifice.
By the man. So him couldn't get life sentence for that. Him couldn't get life sentence for it.
I'll have to double check to see what the sentence or the range is for buggery.
Well,
because it will be buggery, so it'll be charged for buggery as opposed to rape.
Yeah, but all right, what is the penalty for buggery from a big man passing to a youth? What is the penalty?
I'd have to double check again.
Oh,
I don't want to misquote myself. Okay. I don't do many buggery cases.
I think them should have given him life imprisonment just like the other man. But all the little youth, the little picnic. I think so. It's unlawful. It's unlawful. And to me, it's even more. To me, I mean, I'm going to say more still, but why wouldn't you give meet out the same thing to the man there as they meet to the lady? Why little girl? Why wouldn't you do that?
Well, as I said, I'll have to double check.
Yeah, I know you have to check it. Yeah, man, check it.
I don't want to misquote myself.
All right. Well, since you did you eat with some of my time, I will call you back.
I'm actually going to a 4:30 meeting in a Muta. Right?
Yeah, then I don't know. That's why I say we have to call you back.
No problem.
No, we will call you back next time.
All right, no problem.
All right, give thanks, brother. Give thanks, yeah?
Always. All right. Take care.
That's attorney Sanjay Smith. And it get down in the next water, you know, where him say him have to consult. I have to consult nothing. I would have to consult nothing, you know. Because the pastor rape the brother, whatever call that a no rape, that's a bug rape. I rape the brother. Not at him free will, but by force. You know, say the youth never hey, they have a pastor that get dead because of that, you know. Yeah, you have a pastor where they get dead. The youth are sell at the church gate all the while. And them call the youth in the place and, you know, entice the youth. And the youth kill him. That's the next thing we are talking about now, a different thing. Anyway, we're going to pass the time, you know, it's music news time. Yeah.
Now, the details. The Jamaican Bar Association has expressed concern over recent public circulation of sensitive details surrounding the death of Trelawney Parish Court Judge Ruth Lawrence. The 57-year-old public servant was found unresponsive at her home in Coral Spring Village, Trelawney, on Tuesday. A probe has been launched into her death. In a statement, the JBA said while it mourns the tragic loss of a distinguished member of the judiciary, it is deeply troubled by the apparent non-observance of the Data Protection Act, which enshrines the right to privacy and dignity of the individual, even in death. The JBA added that the Act affirms that personal data must be handled with care, respect, and lawful purpose. According to the association, the dissemination of intimate and distressing information without appropriate safeguards or justification undermines the solemnity of death, the humanity of the deceased, and those who are left to mourn her passing. The JBA said it condemns this breach in the strongest terms and urges all relevant authorities to thoroughly review the circumstances surrounding the release of this information. The JBA also urged persons, including members of the media and public officials, to exercise restraint and compassion when handling matters of such profound sensitivity. Meanwhile, Justice Minister Delroy Chuck has noted that Justice Ruth Lawrence was a distinguished member of the bench whose service left an indelible mark on the justice system. Justice Lawrence was found dead at her home by her spouse in Trelawney on Tuesday. In a release today, the Justice Minister expressed sincere sympathy to the judiciary and the wider legal fraternity on her passing. The minister noted that she served with distinction as chairperson of the Children's Court in the Northern Circuit and as a key member of the Western Regional Family Court, where her wisdom, fairness, and compassion guided countless matters over the years.
Work exemplified her unwavering commitment to justice, particularly for the most vulnerable in our society. Justice Lawrence was widely respected for her diligence, integrity, and her ability to balance firmness with empathy. I join with the judiciary, her colleagues, and all Jamaicans in mourning the loss of this outstanding jurist while celebrating her sterling contribution to the strengthening of family and children's justice. We extend heartfelt condolences to her family, friends, and colleagues during this time of grief. May her legacy continue to inspire us all.
Justice Minister Delroy Chuck. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton has urged Jamaicans to check in with their family and friends about their mental wellness while accessing the available mental health services in and outside of the public health system. His call follows a number of suicides in recent weeks and an increase in the number of calls to the ministry's Mental Health and Wellness Suicide Prevention Helpline last month. There were 633 calls on the line. Natalie Campbell reports.
Dr. Tufton is calling on Jamaicans to stop, think, and look around their environment in order to see what is happening with their loved ones and friends to offer support where they can. He says where they can't, they should seek support from the public health system through faith-based groups, through other safe spaces and safe persons. He says it is going to take each person to address the mental health challenge. In a statement, the ministry says it continues work to enhance the island's mental health service. Those efforts include the ongoing sensitization of a health team to enable early diagnosis and treatment of mental health issues. It notes that just over a month ago, a group of about 47 non-psychiatric healthcare workers was trained under the WHO Mental Health Gap Action Program, MHGAP, which exposes team members to the various manifestations of mental disorders, including depression. Another group of workers will be trained in the coming month. In addition, the school mental health literacy program will resume in schools in the new month. Guidance counselors will be the main facilitators. The program will offer students a chance to enhance their awareness about mental health conditions and coping strategies. Reporting for IRFM News, I am Natalie Campbell.
Principal of Manchester High, Jasford Gabriel, is expressing optimism in the ongoing search for missing 12-year-old first-form student Jaden Smith after he was reportedly spotted by a staff member yesterday. Jaden has been missing since last Friday. Since then, there have been intense efforts involving the school community, Jaden's family, and law enforcement to locate him. Today, 102 students and 15 staff members joined the search alongside a large contingent of police officers and firefighters who continued combing various areas. Mr. Gabriel says he believes the search is nearing a breakthrough.
I want to tell you the entire school population wanted to come out today, but the protocols that would have to engage with parents would not have allowed us to get everybody. But we believe the more the number of eyes that we can get on the road, the greater the possibilities. As it relates to the sighting, so conclusively, based on who I spoke with, Jaden was seen along this Wesley Road area here last night. When they raised the alarm, he started to run. One of my staff workers at school saw him, but by the time they could have done anything, he disappeared somewhere in the area. The positive we take from that he's alive, we are happy for that, and we think we are getting closer and closer to having a breakthrough. And so we are combing the area with a number of eyes, as we have said, and the expectation is that we will find him. The school community is quite uneasy. We're not so happy when one member suffers, the entire community feels it. We believe that we are nearing to getting a breakthrough in this matter.
Principal of Manchester High, Jasford Gabriel. Following news that Jaden had been spotted, one of his schoolmates shared a heartfelt message offering comfort while urging him to return home safely.
Jaden, come back, we need you. It is important for you to come back. I know that you're probably scared, but we'll comfort you and cause you no harm. It's okay.
Manchester High students. Transport Minister Dara Vaz will update the nation on the progress of the National Rural School Bus Program at a press conference next week. On September 8th, just under 60 school buses were rolled out along 122 routes across the island as students returned to the classrooms for the new academic year. Mr. Vaz, who was speaking with RFM News yesterday, noted that while some students are not taking the buses, the demand for the vehicles is still overwhelming.
Next week will be 1 month since the launch of the rural school bus, and I intend on having a full briefing, press briefing next week to be able to update Jamaica as to exactly what has transpired over the month in terms of the rural school bus, the routes and how many buses have been rolling out, the passenger uptake, etc. What I can say is that it's overwhelmingly supported and it is working well, save and except for the fact that we don't have enough buses. The demand for the buses are huge. So even the additional 40 buses that will roll out between now and December to make 100 is still not even a fraction of the amount that is required.
He said plans are being made to increase the fleet of rural school buses.
So we have a school term coming up for next September, and I have to make sure that we can get those buses here, the second phase of the buses, to continue to roll out the routes. Because as I indicated, we are doing 122 routes now, and that's only 258 schools out of 850 schools. So we are way off in terms of being able to satisfy the demand. But what is very good is that the noise has died down now that the politics and the election is over, and people are seeing the vision of the rural school bus and what the benefits it will have for rural Jamaica.
Mr. Vaz also noted that preparations are being made for the cashless system for use on the buses next month. Students are being transported free of cost on the school buses until month end.
We
remember that in November the fares start to be charged. The Prime Minister announced September and October. So we're using that time to put in all the technology so that the cashless system will be ready for November. And of course, the other technology is already being used. And we are monitoring the drivers and, of course, the activities of the buses on the routes and assessing. So, all in all, I would say that we are how far way down the wicket in terms of the full rollout of the first set of buses for the school term.
Transport Minister Darrell Vaz. State Minister for Agriculture Franklin Witter is encouraging young people to invest in the coffee and cocoa production. He was speaking at the International Coffee and National Cocoa Day celebration at Emancipation Park in Kingston yesterday. Coffee and cocoa farmers, processors and exporters gathered at the event. Mr. Witter, while urging young people to join the industry, underscored that agriculture is more than just farming.
Our youth see the opportunities. Agriculture today is no longer about cut, class, and farm. It is a science, technology, branding, and global trade. There is space for all you youngsters to invest in the production of coffee and cocoa.
He noted that while Jamaica's coffee and cocoa products hold strong potential for further global expansion, these sectors continue to grapple with serious challenges, including climate change and crop diseases such as coffee leaf rust and frosty pod rot, the latter posing a critical threat to cocoa production. Mr. Witter added that many farmers still struggle with access to affordable inputs, while long-standing issues such as land tenure, limit investment in long-term farming. On the global stage, he said buyers are demanding higher levels of traceability, certification, and quality assurance. He noted, however, that the Agriculture Ministry, through key agencies like the Jamaica Agricultural Commodities Regulatory Authority, is actively implementing measures to protect, restore, and expand the coffee and cocoa industries. He encouraged processors to maintain good quality within the industry.
Processors and exporters, you continue to uphold quality and invest in packaging, branding, and innovation. Consumers, continue to buy locally, drink Jamaican coffee, eat Jamaican chocolate, and support our farmers.
State Minister for Agriculture Franklin Witter. Hearing of the case involving bauxite company UC Rusal in relation to environmental breaches had to be put off due to the absence of an interpreter. UC Rusal, operators of West Indies Alumina Company Wildalco, is a subsidiary of the Russian alumina producer Rusal. The matter was mentioned in the St. Catherine Parish Court before Senior Parish Judge Georgetta Smeckle today. The court was told that the interpreter missed her appearance because she reportedly forgot that the case was set for today. Defense lawyers expressed concern about her absence, citing a previous instance in which the interpreter did not show up for court because she had not been paid. The lawyers, however, pointed out that the interpreter is usually available and punctual. A request for a rescheduled date was made, and the matter was set for November 26. It's expected that at that time, representatives from the National Environment and Planning Agency, NEPA, will continue testimony about checks made in some communities along the Rio Cobra in St. Catherine, which were affected by a fish kill. The matter stems from a reported effluent leak from the bauxite plant in July 2022. NEPA had served the bauxite company with notices for breaching the Wildlife Protection Act and the Natural Resources Conservation Act. As part of initiatives to mark Cybersecurity Awareness Month in October, the Cyber Incident Response Team will be focusing on cybersecurity risks and how to approach them. This year's Global Cybersecurity Awareness Month theme is Secure Our World, while Jamaica's national theme is Secure Today, Smarter Tomorrow. Head of CERT, Lieutenant Retired Guthrie Sterling, said the cybersecurity challenges observed globally since 2023 continue today.
The challenge we face this year, 2025 in particular, has been that in looking back at 2024 and in some cases in 2023, the challenges globally have not changed, and the attitude globally towards fixing these challenges have not improved. So globally, the theme has not changed. And while we have changed the national theme, we kept it in sync with the global theme, because what we really want is to impact all our constituents at the mindset level in terms of how you treat with cybersecurity. And so the key focus areas that we're looking at for this year are what are the risks that are associated with cybersecurity and how we approach it.
He noted that to tackle cybersecurity issues, measures must be put in place to securely mitigate vulnerabilities. He said a secure talent pipeline must also be created.
If we think just about the threats but not the impact, then we sometimes don't appreciate the risk that come with it. And so when we talk about how we are going to mitigate vulnerabilities and remediate breaches, we have to look at how we do so securely. And this really begins with the creation of a secure talent pipeline that will deliver in the near, medium, and long term skilled professionals in a very sustainable manner, so that we don't have to necessarily look abroad for the talent, and we can actually find persons to do the work who are coming out of universities, not just theoretically enabled, but practically empowered to hit the ground running.
Head of CERT, Godfrey Sterling. Mayor of Montego Bay, Richard Vernon, says the Jamaica National Skills Competition is a direct response to Jamaica's labor force challenges. Speaking at the opening ceremony for Jamaica National Skills Competition yesterday, Mayor Vernon said the competition reaffirms that having a skill is the cornerstone of national development.
This competition is a direct response to our labor force challenges. It is a mechanism to identify, elevate, and invest in the skilled talent that Jamaica needs to thrive. By showcasing excellence across technical and vocational disciplines, we are reinforcing the value of applied learning and reaffirming that skill is a cornerstone of national development. Montego Bay's hosting of this event is strategically germane to Jamaica's national development agenda. Our city has embraced a model of development that integrates infrastructural renewal with human capital investment. Through scholarship expansion, community-based training, and international partnerships, we are building institutional capacity to support a more inclusive and productive workforce. This competition aligns with that vision. It is a living example of what happens when opportunity meets preparation.
Noting that Jamaica's productivity challenge is not solely rooted in technology gaps, Mayor Vernon said they are deeply tied to how Jamaica trains, deploys, and values its labor force.
Broader implications are clear. Jamaica's productivity challenges are not solely rooted in technology gaps or capital constraints. They are deeply tied to how we train, deploy, and value our labor force. A skilled worker is not merely a job seeker. They are a driver of innovation, a contributor to GDP, and a stabilizer of families and communities. When we fail to engage our youth, we weaken our economic foundation. When we empower them, we unlock national resilience.
Mayor of Montego Bay, Richard Vernon. The Jamaica National Skills Competition runs from October 1 to 3 at the Montego Bay Convention Center in St. James. This competition has Jamaica's young talents showcasing their expertise in areas such as mobile app development, graphic design, mechatronics, welding, cooking, and 3D printing. Meantime, technical delegate for Barbados, Daryl Walcott, has charged the Jamaican government to explore the possibility of a Caribbean Skills Championship. Speaking at the opening ceremony of the Jamaica National Skills Competition in Montego Bay, St. James yesterday, Mr. Walcott said the championship would be a dedicated event that would bring together the most talented young people from across the Caribbean.
I want to plant a seed today with a bold proposal. The spirit of this collaboration and unity brings me to this proposition that I believe is the next natural step for our region. We have each cultivated strong national competitions, but imagine what we could achieve together. Just as our track and field and swimming athletes look forward to the Carifta Games, I firmly believe that the time is right to explore the possibility of a Caribbean Skills Championships. It would be a dedicated event that would bring together the most talented young people from across our islands to compete on a grand stage.
He noted that this would be a unified approach to skills development.
It would be a celebration of our shared heritage, a showcase of our regional talent, and a powerful engine for deeper integration and a unified approach to skills development and excellence. This competition will create an unprecedented platform for friendships, networking, and technical exchange. It would send a clear message to the world. The Caribbean is a hub of skills excellence and innovation.
Technical Delegate for Barbados, Dario Walcott. The Jamaica Customer Service Association is urging the nation's service providers to place more emphasis on how their customers are treated. Speaking with RFM News, Deputy Chairman of the association, Richard Rowe, explains that organizations will not achieve great customer service delivery without the proper initiatives in place. He says service excellence is an important tool which must be embedded in any organization by its leaders.
Leaders and leadership plays a key role in delivering service to customers. And so we encourage organizations to seriously look at how they serve customers. And service excellence is that tool that should be used to serve our customers. Service excellence is really a game changer. It enables the foundation really to build on sound standards which must be implemented uncompromisingly.
Mr. Rowe is also encouraging persons, especially business owners, to register for the association's annual Service Excellence Conference on October 7 and 8. The conference is among several activities planned for National Customer Service Week, which runs from October 5 to 11.
We invite the public to visit the JAXA website and register for this conference. It is free. And come and learn the differentiating strategies which are being used by organizations to set themselves apart. And we should receive, the best service. The truth be told, when we pay for goods, we also pay for service. And so we should not be shortchanged. We should demand service at its best because you are deserving of it.
Deputy Chairman of the Jamaica Customer Service Association, Richard Rowe.